Hello everybody and welcome back to a little bit more WoW. Just gonna be another chill stream again today. I'm still like half asleep. I don't know why, I went to sleep really early. I've got like my diet kind of locked down now. I don't know, just not doing too great on the sleep front for some reason. But today we're just gonna do some mount farming around. Gonna head off to do Zul'Gurub as always, and then kind of switch over to Northrend, run... I forgot the name of the raid. Mimron's Head. That one, and then Uthgard Pinnacle. See if we can get the blue Proto-Drake. And then after that probably switch over to the alt and run some more undead stuff. See if we can get an extra couple undead horses, because that seems to be 90% of the undead mounts in the game for some reason. And then maybe some leveling? I don't know. Depends how far I get, to be honest. So apparently I solved the riddle by flying over there. It wasn't a very complex riddle, it just marks it on the map. Good to know. Got a request to go and fight Bill Butcher down there. I finished up Stranglethorn and Duskwood on the Mechanome last night, so he's pretty far through. The stories of Stranglethorn and its PvP nature still exist in the current game, apparently. Well, it's mostly 120s flying over your head and then just dive bombing you and one-shotting you for no reason, but yeah. Putting world PvP on and going through Stranglethorn, not super fun. Well, it didn't really slow me down leveling it anyway. It was just kind of more a nuisance than anything. Because it just made... You know, it kind of added an extra like 30 seconds of me having to walk back to my body, res, finish killing the tiger I'm killing, and then move on to the next place. Kind of poetically though, I found the island where I killed my first Alliance player back during Cataclysm when I was playing a Blood Elf Paladin. And the first thing I was killed by while I was in Stranglethorn was a Blood Elf Paladin. I guess, that, like, 10-year-old karma came around and got me eventually and slowed down my leveling a little bit. Oh, can he not? Oh, there we go. Cool. Yeah, some of the mounts are really weird with the water walking thing. It's the ones that use the, like, Gron skeleton, I think. Especially on, I don't know if it works on other races, but on Gnome, like, they get stuck kind of halfway under the water and they can't jump back onto the surface of it properly. So you have to dismount and get on another mount if you want to use the, like, water walking thing. It's odd. But yeah, big news. We actually have a pre-patch date, finally. I'm pretty sure the pre-patch was supposed to be yesterday, because the rep buff went away. Because I mentioned this on stream yesterday, that I did the Waveblade thing, thinking it was going to be the last one I ever did, and then I checked the buffs at the top, and it was gone, and they've put it back on again today. So the, still need another 500 reputation to potentially get another mount from Waveblade, because Blizzard fucked me, apparently. But on the upside, we have a pre-patch date, which is really exciting. It means I actually have, like, a deadline for getting all my 60s ready. Because I want to get them to, be, like, squished down to 25 rather than super low. Which is kind of fun, actually having, like, a deadline and something to work towards. But yeah, also, Shadowlands getting pushed back was, honestly not expecting it, to be honest. I don't think anybody really was. Like, it was pretty clear the game needed to be pushed back, right? Like, with how much feedback they've got on the beta. Of people literally saying, this isn't finished. Apparently the leveling was kind of broken. So, like, there's a lot of problems, and they need to fix that shit. So it's kind of a good thing they're pushing things back, but also I've seen a lot of people getting very angry on Twitter about the fact they booked time off to play it. And I do feel kind of sympathetic towards them for that, because they were really excited about something They booked time out of work to enjoy it to the like fullest, and now that time is wasted for those people that can't like cancel it or change their time off or whatever. They're kind of locked into that, which sucks. But on the upside, they've now got like a week or two to enjoy the pre-patch content, which seems kind of cool. They're gonna try out all the new leveling stuff and all the new class changes and kind of get everything ready for Shadowlands actually coming out. And at the end of the day, after playing Classic at launch, I feel like there's two places that are good to be with, like, WoW stuff. You either need to be ahead of the curve or behind the curve, because if you're in the middle, it's going to take you, like, twice as long to finish any quest. Just because the amount of people just fucking destroying everything. Especially in Classic, but, I don't feel like it would be that bad for them to not have time off for it, if that makes sense. Like, it sucks they don't get to enjoy it to the fullest, obviously, but equally putting themselves behind the curve, but making sure they've got all their gear and stuff ready during pre-patch, which they've now got time to do, means that they'll be able to catch up quite quickly. And at the end of the day, it means that the expansion will actually be better, hopefully. You know, super excited for it. Now that we actually have like a release date for the pre-patch. Weirdly, I think I was as excited for the pre-patch as I was for like the actual expansion. Because the pre-patch is adding so much and changing so much. And one of the big things I really like is the leveling experience and the fact that the leveling experience is getting a complete revamp and actually a gigantic improvement from how it works currently, where like 10 to 60, really fun. Everything after that, a massive grind. Whereas now we're getting like 10 to 50 actually being fun all the way through, and you get to pick an expansion to play through to actually get the story of the zones, because the story, mentioned before, kind of a big part of why I play WoW in the first place, because I really like the world and the story and all the lore and stuff that surrounds everything. So actually having a leveling experience that kind of caters towards that and just provides me with an ability to explore all of the lore and play through it all from start to finish. Super excited. But also very fucking tired. Oh, also, I mentioned on the last stream about setting up macros to have, like, personalized, randomized mounts for my other characters. To, like, fit their aesthetic or theme or whatever I come up with for them. Actually, it turns out the code I was using to do that, like the macro script, has been broken since, like, 2018 and Blizzard's never fixed it. So, I had to get an add-on instead, which does exactly the same thing. Well, basically gives you like a checklist to go through and like tick a thing of which mounts you want to include in your random thing, and you can create profiles for each character. So it does the same thing as the macro, but it has a UI for a start, so it makes it much faster to navigate and much faster to do, and then also it actually works. And I think the guy who makes it has already like prepared updates and stuff for the Shadowlands version, so I should be able to slap the update files like straight in there without really too much of a worry. I might just have to reconfigure some things if it overwrites anything. Which won't take that long, to be fair. Considering my main already uses like the default Blizzard random mount button, I don't really have to worry too much about that. Yeah, also music-wise, we've like pivoted again, and now we're listening to, I think it's called Chill Step. I don't know. I just wanted something kind of relaxing to put on that wasn't like, you know, synthwave blasting away or like a music thing from a game soundtrack. That's what I was looking for. This is kind of nice and chill, and there weren't like 50 people in the comments complaining about the fact that they're all copyrighted songs. Which is usually a good start, considering all of that stuff I was looking at the other day that was just all copyrighted. Like, wow. If you're gonna label something royalty-free, maybe actually make sure it's royalty-free and not copyrighted by like 20 different people. Probably a good start. I do also need to do one more time walking dungeon so I can get my cache of Nyalothid treasures. That should be nice. Also, I don't think I mentioned on stream, I did a bunch of horrific visions with Drac the other day. So I got the cloak up to rank 8, which is pretty nice. Still not as high as it should be, but it's getting there. So my item level is slowly creeping up to 450. So I'm hoping I can get some good pieces. So, like, just knock that over the edge just before we get to Shadowlands, and it'll get smushed down to, like, 100. Oh yeah, there's the daily quest to get the polar bear that I haven't touched at all yet. I should probably do those because I have unlocked the full quest chain for that. I've just never done them. I also can't remember if I mentioned doing the battle pet stuff either. I think that's gone away now. Yeah, it's where is it actually? I guess we get nothing right now. I guess because that maybe. But yeah, the battle pets thing was like 200 XP or whatever, so I got a bunch of these guys kind of leveled up. I guess it's going to be kind of my main team, but mostly just this guy, who has been just one-shotting everything that I put him up against. I did a couple more of the pet battle quest line things. That's why I've got the quest to go and fight Bill Butcher or whatever while I was travelling, because one of them was in Duskwood and the other one was in Northern Stranglethorn, and that takes you down into the Cape where I'm going with Mecha Boris now. Hopefully they're high enough level to fight the ones down there. I don't know, because I think the ones in Stranglethorn were like the same level. They were like level 10. Can you guys like aggro and move, please? Thank you. You try and pull as many of you together in one place as possible. I think I was talking about the WOD time walking stuff on the yesterday's stream. I think it was Drac that reminded me about them. Turns out I have actually done quite a few of them, I just didn't remember any of them. I don't remember what context I have done those dungeons in, because I don't really remember much of the mechanics, but I do remember the zones and the bosses. This morning I did Iron Docks, which I've definitely done before. I think probably while gold farming, because I think that area was supposed to be good for it. And then also, well, I think I said Skyreach as well, because that's gold farming. Pretty sure I said that yesterday. Rather. That probably sounds weird out of context. But yeah, there's another one as well. Fighting Nazul, I think it was? I've done that one before as well. I remember that as I was going through it. Am I missing any pieces from this dungeon? Probably. Next is way too far back, isn't it? Wait, what? Bastion of Twilight. I'm blind. Yeah, there it is. That comes from a vendor, apparently. And that one also comes from a vendor. Okay. I should probably figure that out at some point. It'd be nice if once you'd ran this place, you could just teleport past all this stuff and go straight into, like, the middle boss room. I'm pretty sure I did a skip last time where I, like, went straight to the Hall of Imagination or whatever it's called. The, like, the Mechanome fight. I guess I should probably just leave all that loot, but kinda want the extra bit of gold from all of them, to be honest. Yeah, I've been enjoying playing Marksman, to be honest. Looking through the skills and stuff, I feel like I'll just start to enjoy it more and more the more I play it, because it seems like it builds quite heavily, like later on. Like the damage just ramps up. Although I'm feeling like it might be worth losing the 10% damage buff from not having a pet and just having something to tank sometimes. Like, I can definitely survive encounters with rares and stuff on the Marksman Hunter. I did 2 on stream and I've done a few more in Stranglethorn since, but if you then also pull other ads and stuff around the rare, which happens, then a little more closer to dying. Probably want to avoid that. So having like a tank pet up or something I can throw in there would probably be a good investment.
You will suffer for this trespass.
I feel like I'm sort of almost tripping over my words and stuff today. I don't know if it's just tired or the fact I've got some sort of cold or something coming as well. Not helping. Hopefully it's just a cold, anyway. Oh, didn't need my eardrums. Thanks, boss. I wonder if during BC Time Walking there'll be groups up for doing the Skyguard stuff again. I got how I beat this. I think I just have to kind of murder everything real quickly, don't I? Yep. Sometimes, like, I miss one shot on one of them, they all just respawn again. It's really irritating. So I can't remember where I heard it. I think it was in some sort of lore video somewhere. But the I remember kind of taking the mick out of it a little bit when at the end of BFA they were like, "Oh yeah, we've cleansed Azeroth of the old god corruption." Suddenly, after like been told for so long that they're basically unkillable, and if you kill them, it's just gonna fuck Azeroth anyway. And then somebody pointed out in a video. So Garrus did stab like a giant fucking sword, like straight into the middle of Silithus, which probably killed one of them. And then we lasered N'Zoth. And then, what, Garrosh absorbed the other one and then got fucked anyway? So actually, it kind of makes sense that Azeroth is cleansed at this point. I suppose the only, like, weird one that doesn't really match is the one here, right? Is it Yogg-Saron? That's the wrong place. That's still the wrong place. Yes, it is. It's kind of the odd one out, because we basically just go in there and, like, push him back down his hole. I don't know. Maybe we, like, fuck him up by going in there and punching his brain. We didn't kill him so much as just make him brain dead, and now he's just sat in a puddle in the bottom of Uldir. Where are we at with bag space? Okay, pretty good. Oh, it actually has the, like, tick of which bits I've done, I guess. Oh yeah, it ticks off the bosses I've done. That's cool. I was wondering if it also ticked off, like, the steps of this that I've done as well, because I've done some of them, but I don't know if it's, like, reset, because there was a weekly reset and stuff. I don't know exactly how it works. I know I didn't finish it.
We haven't much time, friends. You're going to help me test out my latest and greatest creation. Now, before you change your minds, remember that
I got all the way up to the point where you needed to, like, make a mask or something, and the resources for it were stupidly expensive. I just didn't bother doing that section of it and kind of stopped, but I'll be able to get the stuff together for it eventually, I guess. Oh, also, I picked out the professions for the Mechanome, decided to go with skinning and mining, so that way I can use him to, like, supply my other hunters. Since, supposedly, things are going to be more, like, professions are going to be more useful in Shadowlands, so having, like, engineering and stuff set up for making hunter weapons, and then also mining could be split on my alts with my blacksmith as well to make armor. And then also leatherworking is usually really good for making money, so having another skinner to just supply my leatherworker seems pretty good. But knowing Blizzard, they'll just swap and be like, oh no, this profession actually makes money now. Leatherworking makes literally nothing. Which, to be fair, wouldn't really affect my my Mechanome, because I can just change from skinning to whatever else, because they get a buff in, like, everything. Like, the Mechanome racials seem really good. Like, the whole ramping up in combat so you do more damage works super well with so many classes, and then you've also got the healing when you get low, which just has saved my ass so many times already.
And its glorious glory, I present you with D07TRON.
May as well loot him now, otherwise all that crap just gets sent to my mailbox anyway, so...
It would appear that I made a slight miscalculation. I allowed my mind to be corrupted by that fiend in the prison, overriding my primary
Yeah, still not sure what to do on the other hunter, because now I've got 4 of them. To be fair, I might leave the other hunter until Shadowlands actually comes out and see what state the Covenants are in at that point. As to whether I need 4 hunters or not. Because it is mostly a precaution, but also I wanted to play all the specs anyway, so it kind of gave me an excuse. For at least 3, but now I kind of... kinda wanna not have a 4th hunter and have to do that all again. I mean, that's super good for farming anyway, which is why I got a Dark Iron. I will level him at some point, it's just whether or not I need to, like, have him ready for going through Shadowlands like the others. I feel like I can kind of bench him and just... if I literally run out of things to do, then I can go back on the other hunter. He's like the ult for my ults, basically. You know, the Mechanome stuff. I'm jumping around conversations a lot, I'm sorry. But yeah, the Mechanome stuff. Other than their racials, they also get all of the crafting tools as just part of them. They get like a buff in every profession. They just seem really good. Which I feel like Blizzard did that for both of the like new tiny races, right? You've got Mechanome, who are really good at everything, and then you've got Vulpera, who are super good for farming. Like the extra bag slots, the like you can put your Hearthstone down anywhere campsite thing. Blizzard just, I don't know, like super incentivized both of the very tiny races they had. It's just a shame that, you know, Vulpera aren't on the Horde side, so I can't really use them to farm to the degree I would like to. If they were, more than likely my 4th hunter would have been a Vulpera.
The time to strike at the head of the beast will soon be upon us.
But they ain't.
Focus your anger and hatred on his minions. Yes, yes! Show them no mercy! Give no pause to your attacks! Let hatred and rage guide your blows!
Also, speaking of Vulpera, I didn't really see where all the like the furry thing was coming from with them, and then I saw people playing on RP servers with them. Now I get it. Yep. It's fucking weird. I mean, to be fair, there's some weird shit that goes on RP servers no matter what, so... as far as I'm concerned, let them have their fun, really, but... yeah. Still weird.
Yes, yes! Show them no mercy! Give no pause to your attacks!
I do actually want to try and get into doing like RP server stuff. I feel like that would probably be a good idea. I really like the idea of like... Jesus, Lich King, why are you so bloody loud? I really like the idea of like D&D and stuff, like the role playing, creating a character, and portraying another person and whatever else. I just feel like super anxious about the whole thing, so I feel like kind of doing an RP thing in WoW, whatever, where I'm kind of disconnected from it even further than like you are in a D&D game. It might actually help and sort of encourage me to be able to do that more. I had no idea what we just got, but it definitely was not the mount. Disappointment, as always, from all DI. Any luck? Nope. No, none at all, actually. Oh, so I did also buy, oh, I need to wait till I get outside now, I rode too quickly. I need to... Oh, I bought the heirlooms for the gun and bow, in case I need them for other hunters and stuff in future. They were the only weapons I didn't buy, originally, because I'd already got a hunter, so I didn't really see why I'd need one, and then I made several more hunters, so now I need them again. So yeah, bought both the gun and the bow, just so I had options. Also, it gave me like transmog appearances and stuff, so I figured why not. Much more to add to the collection. I also kind of like the bow. It's old, obviously, like all the transmogs. They're all based on like old models and stuff, but I kind of like the bow. Especially for like a necromancer type look is what I'm kind of going for with the hunter. It's just skulls and shit. Like it's just made out of bones. It kind of fits perfectly. It might actually look really good with the Maldraxxus stuff as well. Although I know already that I really want the Maldraxxus gun as soon as I can get it, because that thing looks beautiful. It's just straight out of Warhammer. It's like a Chaos Bolt gun. So I want it. But also, hopefully, when people come back for Shadowlands or the pre-patch, I can get in to try and get the guns from whatever the other one is. Is that Uldir or Uldum? They need to start naming things different. Like, it's kind of irritating. I can't remember which one's which at all. Yeah, that one. Uldir. There we go. I want that to fit with the Mechanim thing. Also, that is just a cool looking gun. To be fair, all the different variants of it look pretty cool. That one. Beautiful. The LFR version. That is such an odd colour palette choice. It's like not quite silver and then a kind of pinky purple. Is there any armour in the game that goes with that? Probably, to be fair. There's been a lot of... Yeah, there we go. Been a lot of different colours over the years. So you could maybe make it work with that, even though it's got kind of like a greeny thing going on there. I guess that or that would also work. So that one kind of matches colour palette wise a little closer from some angles. I was going to say these crystal ones, but I feel like that's kind of a bit too far and also very gold. Yeah, I've got nothing else to go with it, but yeah, there's definitely a colour palette for it. I actually kind of like those together, even though they're not... Like, the kind of purple lines it matches those two, but then the cream here matches the skull coloration. Like, it's kind of contrasting with each other, which is kind of nice. I have no idea what I'd wear that on. Also, what are they from? Heroic. Okay. Equally, you could just pair it with those, although that's very gold again. I feel like we're just hosting a Warcraft fashion show at this point. I'll just keep pulling up fucking transmog shit every stream. Also, I did not mean to open that. I just saw a yellow thing and clicked on. Yeah, also progressing towards the Lawmaster thing for Eastern Kingdoms. Also got the first part of the Hemet Nessingway quest line started, and then I do the one here in Northrend and the one in the Grand, apparently. Is nice. Also, I've like half done that on this character, I think. The first rule of Ring of Blood is you don't talk about Ring of Blood. I'm guessing I have to go and do the one in WoD too, maybe? Would be the continuation of that. But yeah, I've got one for Legion and Kultiris. I'm like halfway through the Eastern Kingdoms one. Barely touched the Kalimdor one. Not even done a single thing in Northrend. Because I think I was one quest away from finishing one of the zones on the Warrior or the Druid, one or the other. And it was to like escort a Murloc out of a cave was like the last quest I have to do, and I just gave up. I was just like, I'll be fucking arsed with this, I'll go run a dungeon, and left. And now he's level 120, so I guess I can go back and finish that quest at some point, but don't really care that much. Especially with the pre-patch around the corner. Probably going to be doing all of that at some point. Maybe on the Vulpera Monk, actually. I'm trying to figure out who I could send through that zone. Also, it depends how they scale everything. Because right now everything has like a minimum entry requirement, but because of the leveling being so fast in the classic zones, by the time you've finished like Duskwood, you are way higher level than it. Where even is Duskwood? It's down here, isn't it? Yeah, Duskwood is 20 to 60. Yeah, I was way over leveled for that. I'm like level 47 or something now, and I just finished Northern Stranglethorn. And the cape starts at 30, so I'm like 17 levels over. Although it feels like with the world PvP buff on, definitely, it's possible to just level from like 10 to 60 just by doing classic zones and not just like barely finishing one, which is kind of how I felt on all my other characters because I was running dungeons at the same time. Whereas because I've been trying to like chill a little bit to let my hand heal with whatever the fuck is going on with it. I just been doing like questing zones where I can kind of not have to be on. I'm gonna have to be paying attention or like reacting quickly to things. I can kind of just like keyboard turn if I really need to.
My liege, I have done as you asked, and now beseech you for your blessing.
To be fair, doing this stuff I can definitely just do keyboard turning because I don't have to target anything. And when I do, I can just use the shift tab target rather. There we go. Also, circling back around to the pre-patch conversation, I didn't realise they were doing it this way, but apparently they're splitting the pre-patch in two. So there's essentially Phase 1 and Phase 2 of the pre-patch. The first phase, I think, is just the, like, the mechanics. Just like all the new class changes, how everything's, like, different now. the new leveling experience, the chromie time, all that stuff, that's all in Phase 1. And then Phase 2 is the Scourge event happening. Also, by splitting it like that, I guess it also gives Blizzard, like, extra time to actually get Shadowlands fixed up and ready, so I'm okay with that. I mean, like I say, my main thing is I really enjoy leveling and I enjoy dungeons. So having the ability to do all the new leveling experience really soon, love that. And then also the way that dungeons are changed in that would also be cool. Because the way the new leveling experience works with like the chromie time thing, you pick an expansion playthrough, right? We all know that bit. But that also locks which dungeons you're locked to in the like the LFG or whatever. So you can go to Chromie, select like Burning Crusade or whatever, and then you could just fly over to Pandaria or do like the Pandaria starting quest and then do all of the Pandaria questing zones while also queuing for like Burning Crusade dungeons the whole time. Which I love the idea of. That means I can just pick an expansion where I really like the dungeons of, because as much as I like MOP aesthetically, I don't super enjoy the dungeons from MOP. I don't know why, I just don't gel with them, I guess? I don't know, I've never really enjoyed them that much. Same with like the WoD dungeons aren't super fun. Skyreach is nice because it's super quick and it like ends in 5 minutes, but... And no, I really like some of the older dungeons where things were kind of a little bit oversized sometimes. It was kind of cool. It gave a much bigger sense of scale to some of the things. Right, yeah. Let's swap on over to the Demon Hunter. See if we can go run Ice Crown, I think. Or we can just sit on the screen, apparently. We want to do anything? WoW, maybe? Maybe you want to log out? It's crashed, I think. Nice, okay. That's fun. Oh yeah, it's definitely crashed. Everything's like pixelated slightly. Like I can see the squares that make up the text. It's real weird. Oh, there we go. Finally, this application has stopped working. I know! Funny that. Why was there a random tiger roar in the middle of that? I can't tell if that was the song or that was the game crashing. Apparently nothing wants to work now. The Battle.net launcher may have also just crashed. Oh, good. Good. It's going so well. All I wanted to do was change the Demon Hunter. So I can sprint through Ice Crown again. Ugh. To be honest, I'd love to get beta for Shadowlands now and actually kind of test things. Considering it seems like they need some good feedback on things. Okay, that Tiger Roar is definitely the song. Okay, cool. I mean, Blizzard have been getting feedback the whole time, but I feel like it wouldn't hurt for them to have more feedback. And it would also give me a chance to figure out whether I need to have several hunters or not. I mean, eventually I'd like to have 3 of every class just so I can play any spec and learn to play all the specs as I go, which I feel like would be beneficial to me in some way. Because it's like when I look at the priest class changes or whatever on the Shadowlands stuff, and I'm like, cool, I don't know what any of it means because I've not played a priest, so I don't know how it affects their gameplay or their rotation in any way. Whereas if I'd actually sat down and played a priest from like 10 to 120, I'd understand it. Right, what have we got going on? Ice Crown, where do we go? Orgrimmar. But also, knowing it's the 13th, or Shadowlands does give us like 11 days, so maybe maybe I go play something else for like a week. Well, I think I'm gonna spend the rest of this week trying to get... Why is it telling me to go over there? That's odd. Probably a quest. I want to try and get the Mechanim to 60. I want to make sure everyone's like at a level where if the level squish happens... Obviously we know it's going to on the 13th now. I don't have to keep saying when. It means that when they get squished down, they'll be at like a decent level rather than just like allied races or whatever are going to get squished down to lower than they start if you just made a new one or whatever, which is real dumb. Or the fact of like, if you make a Death Knight, you're better off making a Death Knight now because when the squish happens, there'll be a higher level than if you make a Death Knight on the PTR. Or on the pre-patch, rather. Because I think if you make a Death Knight now, they start at 60, they'll get squished to 25, but if you make one on the pre-patch, they'll be level 10. So you'll be 15 levels ahead of every other Death Knight that's new. Which I'm assuming everyone who's going to play a Death Knight is probably already done. At this point, because why wouldn't you? Which reminds me, I should probably either try and play my Mechanim Death Knight or make another one and go Frost instead and see what that's like. I also might at some point try and learn how to tank. Are we on the right difficulty? Yeah, okay, cool.
I'm out of range.
But yeah, I've never tanked in WoW, so it might be something worth learning to do at some point so I can play the other specs of classes.
What happens here will echo through the ages. Regardless of outcome, they will know that we fought with honor, that we fought for the freedom and safety of our people.
Like, I've played healer, I've played a lot of DPS, but I've never touched tanking, which kind of cuts me off from a lot of stuff. Like, I can't play one of the warrior classes really, because I don't really understand how to do that properly. Same with like Monk and Death Knight. And Druid, to be fair.
This is the beginning and the end. The
I swore that I would see you dead in this match disbanded. I'm going to finish what I started as I told.
So I did check my mailbox on this character, and I why is that not ticked? Hello, we're on 25-player heroic.
You have found your way here because you are among the few
Okay.
gifted with true vision in a world cursed with blindness. You can see what is the disturbance.
I wonder how much of Ice Crown actually reflects the Shadowlands, thinking about it. It's, yeah, the upper floor, right? There's the vampires, which obviously, resemblance to Venthia quite heavily. You've got the Fleshworks thing on the other side, which is kind of reminiscent of Maldraxxus. The only things that's kind of missing would be, like, a Kyrian and, whatever the other one is, Nightfay. Doesn't really have a garden.
Could he have survived?
The power of the light knows no bounds, Sarfang. His soul is under great strain, but he lives. Now.
There's definitely some resemblance in the way that Icecrown is laid out.
If we rescue Bolvar Fordragon, we may quell the unrest between the Alliance and the Horde. Our mission is now clear. The Lich King will answer for his crimes, and we will save High Lord Bolvar Fordragon.
Of the Horde! Today we battle a hated enemy of the Horde!
Warcraft, prepare Aldrin's hammer for its final voyage. Champion, take us out! Our gunship will find a port.
I could also try Karazhan on this character, I just realised that.
Meet us there.
I would go run Uldir again, because it would be a good mount from a Mechanome, but
Approaching in the distance.
don't know if I could be asked. Uldir is pretty long. I mean, nowhere near as bad as things like Dragon Soul or whatever, sure, but... Are you kidding me? Oh, fuck's sake. This is gonna go badly, isn't it? Or are we good? Okay, they blew up. Okay, cool.
Will know our business soon. Corkron, annihilate them!
I feel like that's exactly what I did on the Gnome yesterday, but it, like, our airship died rather than the enemy one. Except that was way worse, because I completely missed everything apart from one mage, I think, on the enemy ship, and that was fine, apparently? But on the Gnome, you miss, like, 2 members of the Horde, and yep, that's it, your ship explodes, good job, you lose, like... What? What actually determines whether you win or lose that fight? I don't get it. Because before I've done it too quickly on this Demon Hunter, and then the ship exploded, even though everything was dead. Like, it just... doesn't make any sense. You wanna hurry it up, Sourfang? Please?
My boy died at the Wrathgate.
I've got places to be, bud.
Here only to collect his body.
Stubborn and old. What chance do you have? I am stronger and more powerful than you ever were.
We named him Dranosh. It means heart of Draenor in Orcish. I would not let the warlocks take him. My boy will be safe, hidden away by the elders of Garadar.
Cool.
I made a promise to his mother before she died, that I would cross the dark portal alone. Whether I lived or died, my son would be safe, untainted.
Uh-huh.
Today, I fulfill that promise.
Uh-huh, I'm sure you do, bud.
I can't attack that.
Uh-huh. Okay, cool. Let's go. Jesus. So, like, the RP segment for the Horde side is so much longer. The Alliance guys are just like, oh, let's just fucking kill this orc and get out of here. Sourfang has to spend, like, 20 minutes talking to his dead son. Like, okay, but... I get this is all dramatic and stuff, but I've heard it, like, 20 fucking times. Don't care anymore.
Next to the pyres of your mother and ancestors.
I need to get closer.
No! You killed Iggy! Honor young heroes, no matter how dire the battle.
Just an ordinary
Never
gas
forsake
line.
it.
But watch out, because that's
Oh, you're talking about honor and stuff, but thanks. Pretty sure Garrosh said almost that exactly the same line once upon a time. Before he turned into a genocidal maniac and tried to kill everyone.
I don't have a target. I need to target something first.
you were always my favorite. Next to Rotterface. The good news is that you left behind so much gas. I can practically taste it.
Cool. Let's pull this decaying Colossus in here. I'm sure that won't do anything. Oh, how are you not dead, actually? There we go. You get the door open yet, bud? So I'm making all your bugs despawn by standing next to the gate. Do you want to just open it? Oh, we good? Can I go yet? Why is this taking so long? Is it because I'm not standing there and just getting hit by bugs? Okay, let me just bounce. Oh, there we go. Cool.
Good news, everyone. I think I see one thing that will destroy all life on Azeroth.
This happens every time I try and, like, speed things up or get through this place quicker. Stuff keeps going wrong. Oh, that's a thing I could check, actually. Because there's no of the hyenas on the auction house on the Alliance side. Actually, don't we share an auction house now? I can't remember. I was gonna say I could check the Horde side, but I think we share an auction house, so I don't think it'd work. It's just nobody selling those hyena mounts anymore. I can get farm for one, sure, but it's kind of boring. It's a mount that I might not even use, so it's a little bit of a waste.
The sand lane of the Lich King's immortal soldiers. You shall face their might combined. Rise
Uh-huh.
and destroy our enemies.
What is that? Is that the Sunwell? Oh, it reset my I-beam because I got attacked first. I love that mechanic. I don't know why it does it, like why the I-beam just resets if you get aggroed first. Such an odd mechanic. Oh wow, I just murdered all those guys back. Cool. Yeah, I'm trying to get through this kind of quickly because I think I might cut things kind of short today. Just not. Really not feeling it. My, like,
You have met
My tiredness is getting progressively worse.
Decision. But we were all getting along. So,
And I guess I'd rather, like, not stream than have, like, a boring one. Or it's me just kind of, like, half falling asleep for the whole thing. I was gonna say, and also forgetting what I was talking about, but I do that 9% of the time anyway. So, that's hardly anything new. Although we have ran out of chill step, apparently. I'll just restart that playlist when my browser wants to cooperate.
Even dying here beats spending reagents for that madman Finkelstein.
miserable creatures, die!
I need a target.
Our champions have arrived. Support them as we push our way through the hall.
You mean trip over on non-existent rocks like you do every other time, but...
But now, you are nothing more than a traitor! Come, your second death approaches!
I love these Argent champions and their inability to walk in a straight line without falling over. So good. Look, only 2 of them actually made it this time. Where did the rest of you fall over? Oh no, there's 3. Oh, there's one of you fell over just before you got to the stairs. Nice. Where's the other one? Oh, he's all the way back there. Wow. You couldn't just make it easy for me and fall down next to each other, could you? Revive the fucking glaive. Good. Also, it's kind of weird I throw glaives considering I don't use them.
It's too far away.
Each of us is truly worthy of the title of champion!
I probably will when I make the night elf one.
The loss of our comrades was unpreventable.
I was gonna go with like a sort of a tribal type look, so all the like Zandalari stuff from EFA would be really good for that. And all the new like night elf stuff with like leaves and stuff, right? To make it look really wild. I don't know, tribally, I guess.
Must not approach the frost! Quickly, stop them!
Let's not approach the what? Frost Queen. Right, okay. That's what they call Syndragosa. Fair enough. Never paid attention to that dialogue before. To be fair, I probably would be more sympathetic to the whole Saurfang story if I'd actually gotten to play through it properly. So I guess the pre-patch will probably be a good thing. Because it means I'll get to like play through those stories and understand those bits a little more. And also all of Anduin's like character development in MoP. Well, I don't know how much there really is, but I know there's some like big stuff for him in MoP. And considering he's now, you know, King of the Alliance, feels like maybe I should know something about him. Because the bell that falls on him or whatever in MoP gives him his, like, lie detector powers. Which is a weird and kind of subtle ability that I feel like didn't really get put to much use in BFA at all. Maybe it will in Shadowlands. Like, they can just listen to anybody and know whether or not they're lying. But I have a feeling that the characters kind of are aware of that ability to some degree, because Sylvanas, like, specifically chooses her words as though to, not lie about stuff when she's talking to him in the book, anyway. I've not read the new one yet for Shadowlands. Might be worth picking that up soon. I don't know if it's available in paperback yet. I assume it probably will be. Might be worth ordering a copy. Just so I can get caught up on all of the existing lore. I mean, Platinum WoW did a great video recently of all the stuff you need to know for Shadowlands, which was a nice, like, very brief summary of everything that happened in BFA, pretty much. It's good. It's funny as always. So I would recommend it. I'm pretty sure Nobble has probably already done a video explaining all the lore from the book, but I feel like reading it would be a good idea to get my like own first-hand impressions of what is going on and what these characters are going through. Although I think Nobble also did like an interview with the woman who wrote the latest lore book, so might be worth reading it and then watching that afterwards. Also, why do they not have any audio at all now? What is going on? Like, the Lich King was the loudest person in existence when we did... Oh, okay, Tyrion has a voice again, and Lich King can talk. What is happening? What? I went inside Yogg-Saron's mind and Lich King was just screaming into my ear. And then we come here and he's sat on his throne and he's like, I'm gonna kill you. Just like super quiet in the background, like, oh, okay, bud. Got no idea what's going on with WoW today. Or maybe it's my computer. Could be either, to be fair. Oh. I think I might have just pulled on my desk a little too hard and moved it away from the thing it's next to. Oops. I just wanted something to rest my hand against for a minute. I'm just hacking at his knee plate, look at that. Literally. This is what it must be like to be a gnome fighting literally anybody. Hmm. Please just drop the horse, bud. I don't have to sit through Sourfang's speech for another time, to be honest. At least when it's Jaina and Varian, you can just run away and they just keep talking while you're fighting vampires and, like, you know, 4 boss rooms away.
To shatter these bonds.
Sourfang makes you wait before you can even fight the boss. What are these stacks I'm building up? Oh, increasing haste, okay. I don't even remember what the Azerite powers are on this character. I mean, fuck knows if they're even the good ones, to be honest. Apologise for the chair again.
By your hatred.
Free at last. It is over, my son.
Yeah.
This is the moment.
Oh. Fuck's sake. No. Well, on that mound of disappointment, I feel like we leave it here for today, because I need to go take a break anyway, and I'm very bloody tired, so I apologise. I hope you've enjoyed though. It was kind of just me very tiredly ranting about just random stuff, including the pre-patch, which super excited about, and hopefully I'll sound more excited when it actually gets here and I've actually had some sleep. We might try playing something else for a bit next week. I'm going to try and finish leveling the Mechanome over the weekend. Can try and take it slow though, especially with my hand and stuff. Hopefully we get through all of that, and when we come back to this we should have a bunch of level 60s, a bunch of guys ready to go and farm for extra mounts that I don't yet have. And hopefully enjoy the new pre-patch experience when that comes out on the 13th. So thank you guys for watching. Hope to see you guys again next time.